Así queda decidido.
It is so decided.
En cuanto a los
As for the vice presidents, I should like to propose the delegates of the following member states that have been nominated by their area groups. As I have been informed, I will read the names in the English alphabetical order as follows.
Rica, Irán, República Islámica,
Iran, Islamic Republic of Malaysia, Morocco, Netherlands, Republic of Moldova, United States of America.
propongo como presidente
As chairperson of the Committee of the Whole, I propose Her Excellency Mrs. Maria Cleofe Rayos Natividad, Ambassador and Resident Representative of the Philippines to the IAEA. And as the additional members of the General Committee, I should like to propose the delegates of the following member states. As I have been informed, again, I shall read the names in English alphabetical order.
Angola, República
Czech Republic, Denmark, Luxembourg, Russian Federation, United Arab Emirates.
Entiendo que estas
I assume that my proposals are acceptable, and accordingly, I declare the delegates of the member states whose names I have read out duly elected as the 7 vice presidents and the 6 additional members of the General Committee. It is so decided.
distinguidos delegados
Distinguished delegates, the agenda for the current session will be considered by the General Committee, which is planned to meet at 12:15 this afternoon. In these circumstances, I propose that the conference suspend Rule 42 of the Rules of Procedure of the General Conference until the General Committee has met and submitted its recommendation on the provisional agenda, so that we make the best use of the time available to us, pending receipt of the General Committee's recommendations. So, may I take it that the conference accepts my proposal to suspend Rule 42 of the Rules of Procedure of the General Conference and proceed with the consideration of the item approval of the appointment of the Director General as envisaged in the provisional agenda?
Así queda decidido.
It is so decided. Distinguished delegates, let me now inform that we will adjourn our morning session around noontime to allow the General Committee to meet today at 12:30, the speaker has said, in room M6. Let's now turn to item 4, approval of the appointment of the Director General. Pursuant to Article 7A of the statute, the Board of Governors in October of this year decided to appoint Mr. Rafael Grossi to serve as Director General of the agency for a term of 4 years from 3 December 2019 to 2 December 2023, and requested the General Conference to approve the appointment by adopting the draft resolution contained in document GC SPL.2/2. May I take it that the General Conference wishes to adopt the draft resolution contained in document GC SPL.2/2 and approve the appointment of Mr. Grossi to the post of Director General by acclamation to serve for 4 years from 3 December 2019 to 2 December 2023?
Queda así decidido.
It is so decided.
Por consiguiente,
I accordingly declare duly adopted by acclamation the draft resolution in document GCSPL.2/2 approving the appointment of Mr. Grossi as the agency's Director General for a period of 4 years starting on 3 December 2019. I would now invite our new Director General designate, Mr. Rafael Grossi, to join me on the podium.
señor Grossi, estoy en
Mr. Grossi, I am delighted to be the first to congratulate you on your appointment. On behalf of the General Conference, I wish you a very fruitful tenure. Thank you. All the best. In accordance with the agency's staff regulations, the Director General is to take an oath of office before the General Conference. I would accordingly request Mr. Grossi to take the oath of office.
The agency to discharge these functions and regulate my conduct with the interests of the agency only in view, and not to seek or accept instructions in regard to the performance of my duties from any government or other authority external to the agency.
Felicidades. Muchas gracias. El director general.
The designate Director General has asked to speak, and it gives me tremendous pleasure to call on him. I call on you, sir.
Thank you very much, Madam President, and thank you all for the expression of support and faith in me that you have just expressed. This is very humbling. Let me say a few things, share a few thoughts with you today. And let me for a few minutes or seconds turn to my mother tongue, Spanish, para decir,
To tell you, Madam, how important, how significant it is, and you mentioned this just a few moments ago, that this ceremony, that this conference, where the first Latin American ever is appointed to have the high honor of steering this wonderful organization, should take place under Mexican presidency. Many years ago, more than I would like to even recall, I had a chance, which was real and actually true, to work guided under Ambassador Alfonso Garcia Robles in Geneva. I knew him well. I value this chance to work with him. So you said that he held the Nobel Peace Prize, was responsible for the Tlatelolco Treaty, so appropriately named. I know how important this moment is, how important this personality was, and how important it is for Mexico to be holding the presidency.
this organization that has come a long way since it was established in 1957. I'm the 6th Director General of this organization, and before me, 5 other distinguished professionals, Mr. Cole, Eklund, Blix, Elbaraday, and of course, our remembered Yukiya Amano, who passed this year. They all contribute to shape our organization and to make it the indispensable instrument it is today. So our tribute to all of them and our thanks. This organization is the indispensable place where we make sure that the nuclear material scattered around the world in countless nuclear power plants and facilities is not misused. Through its impartial, accurate system of inspections, the safeguards, and the work of our inspectors, we are the ones who tell it as it is. No one else can do what we can do. No one else can provide as it is. And it will continue in this way. Sometimes, some may not be entirely happy with what we have to report, but we do it because we know that by doing that, we are exactly following the mission that has been entrusted to us when we were created as an institution. And this work, of course, will continue. Mais le travail de notre organisation.
But the work that our organization does goes above and beyond that. It goes above and beyond non-proliferation. The work that we do, allows people across the world to achieve higher living standards, to receive cancer treatment, as you mentioned during your statement, Madam. It allows them to benefit from nuclear technologies to manage water, to manage food security, and for many other functions and applications that have a concrete impact on people's lives. The expectations are very high, and we all know that we could never meet those expectations at a time when fiscal austerity are standard, are the norm. But that doesn't mean that we will stop with our work. On the contrary, we will, and I will, step up my determination and our determination to find ways of funding the activities that we need, that we must carry out in order to benefit our member states. It's crucial, and we shall do it.
Clear that this is the International Atomic Energy Agency, as stated in our statute. And of course, as it says, we want to work to enlarge, as it is said in a statute, the contribution of nuclear energy for peace and all over the world. So this is important, and we are going to continue work with member states, because contrary to what many may have estimated, nuclear energy is increasing. 37 new nuclear power plants were connected to the international grids over the past few years. More than 20 new nuclear power plants are being built. 4 countries are in the process of commissioning their first nuclear power plants. So this is a fact. At the same time, we know and we respect that for many countries this is not the case. And for many countries, although they benefit from the peaceful uses of nuclear technologies and applications, nuclear energy is not in the cards. And this is important. And some countries are phasing out from nuclear energy. And this is also their house. And we will step up our efforts to join them, to help them in their work in terms of decommissioning and doing it in a safe and secure manner. This weekend, the Conference of the Parties to the Climate Change Conference also started, and it is also a scientific evidence that nuclear energy emits a very low level of greenhouse gases. So, nuclear energy is not part of the problem. It can be, for those wishing so, part of the solution. And our voice will be part of the debate from our standpoint. I will be there in Madrid in a few days to join our voice and to offer our contribution to that process as well. We cannot ignore, ladies and gentlemen, that for many there are concerns about nuclear energy and nuclear technologies. And this has to do with our important work in safety and in security. When it comes to these very important aspects, it is the IAEA where truly global work takes place. It is this place where experts from countries having the most advanced normative structures and those not having them get together, and they share experiences, and they get these guidelines and these safety standards to make sure that whatever we do, it's in the benefit of our societies, which we do not endanger throughout or through the work we do. This is going to continue, and we will be facing more challenges because, of course, the existence of nuclear material in a world characterized with new phenomena like international terrorism, of course, this is a big magnet of attraction for those who want to use this material for malevolent purposes. But there is the agency providing training, giving advice, helping governments to cope with this growing threat. We will continue doing that. This is a big institution, many people, an important budget. So our management must be impeccable and stand the test of transparency and accountability. And I will be there working with you, taking your advice, following your guidance to make sure that our taxpayers' money is put to good use. Women are represented in our organization, but not at the level they should be. We have made good progress, and at this point in time, 30% of our workforce includes women. But parity is 50, not 30. And this is the objective and the goal I set to myself. It is not going to be easy, but it is not impossible. And if we work together, we can, as others have been able to do in other organizations, make sure that all the talent in the world, and not half of it, is at our disposal. Let me finish, Madam President, with a personal reflection, if you allow me. That explains, to a certain extent, why I'm here today. More than 30 years ago, in a remote location in southern Patagonia, I witnessed how the president of my country welcomed the president of Brazil, and he showed him what had been a secret nuclear plant dedicated to uranium enrichment. That was a defining moment in my life, because I learned that through diplomacy, strict observance of international law, a dedication to peace, and a real will to do the right thing, we can transform things and make it better. And this was the case for our two countries. It has been the case for many others, and it can be the rule for all. So I see a thread uniting that moment for the young diplomat that I was in Patagonia, in my country, and the man standing here in front of you, taking an oath of office to lead this formidable instrument that is the IAEA. Help me do that. I will commit all my efforts. Thank you very much. Muchísimas gracias.
Muchas felicidades. doy las gracias